This is Trabr. We're creating the technology and the ecosystem for everything building. We're creating a market network which boasts a marketplace and a mobile-first, cloud-based suite of project control tools for builders, consumers, trades, suppliers, for everybody. All on the smartphone, all remote, all mobile, all for building. This is Trabr, and this is a building conversation. Good morning, this is Tony Huxley from Trabr Limited. I'm glad to be joining you today. Tony Rouady, General Manager of Network Building Supplies. G'day, Tone, how are you?
Tony, I'm well.
Excellent, good to hear. Thanks for joining us, really appreciate you making the time. We've got a bunch of questions. We'd love to get some insights and understandings from you about network building supplies and the industry in general and how you guys are experiencing life at large. So maybe if I could start off by asking, I know that you run one of the largest and I suppose fastest growing building supplies companies in Sydney. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Maybe if I could ask you, give me a bit of an elevated view of the business that is Network Building Supplies today.
We started out about 15 years ago, mainly focusing on building supplies to the interior fit-out trade market, so trade contractors, mainly doing interior fit-out work, predominantly commercial, small multi-residential. Then we evolved into a trade supplier focusing on interior fit-out, external facades, and render and paint. So we're very focused in what we do. We're not a DIY store as such. We're more trade focused with a bunch of regular accounts that do similar jobs week in, week out, and use their accounts with us to purchase a variety of world-class products.
Yep. And this depot, or this location here, which is a pretty massive site that you got here in Revesby, is that you service all of Sydney from here or further afield?
We've got great relationships with a lot of our manufacturers that we deal with. They distribute on our behalf on some occasions, but predominantly out of Sydney. We do it out of our warehouse here at Revesby. 80 to 90% of what we do is delivered to site, direct to site, not pickup. Being trade contractors that we deal with, generally ordering, a few days before they require their products. They turn up on site, mainly in large quantities in big trucks.
And 80 to 90% is delivered?
So most of it comes out of here, but also direct from our suppliers. We're one of CSR, Gyprock and Hebel and the Bradford Insulation's biggest distributors in Sydney.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of what we do can also go direct from those sites as well. So they don't all get handled here at Revesby, but predominantly in Sydney Metro, a lot of it comes out of here, But across the country, we do our architectural products using some third-party logistics sites as well. But predominantly it's Sydney,
Yeah, fantastic. So listen, I know it's like we're in the middle of 2020 here, and I guess you couldn't have written a script about this year even if you'd tried, but can I ask, with all that we've endured thus far, how different would you think today life is for you and the team compared to, say, this time last year?
Obviously, we've all had to try to do things differently with the way business is run. Because a lot of our products are delivered to site, we are a bit unique. We're not in retail, or we're not like a DIY store where you get a lot of foot traffic. We still get a bit of foot traffic, but in terms of ordering and delivering to site, that hasn't been affected too much because a lot of sites are still going, and it is easier to isolate on big construction sites. So we do service a lot of multi-residential commercial sites. So we do a little bit in small residential, but predominantly it's those bigger sites. So that part of it hasn't changed significantly. In terms of our staff and the way we work with architects, designers, builders, trade contractors, a lot of our meetings, like everyone else, have gone to Zoom or Microsoft Teams or one of those.
Google Meets, one of them,
So that in that regards, we've gained a lot of efficiency, believe it or not. Well, a lot of people have had time to talk now because they're at home or they're working off-site, and you can schedule in some good group meetings. So in terms of specification work, CPD presentations, which some of our architectural guys do, they've actually been managing to reach a wider audience. So I think I've heard a lot of people say this, but going forward, it will change the way we do these things.
It has to, doesn't it?
Yeah. So a lot of it will, the digital side of things will be used a lot more. I think what it is, I think we all knew the capability of these tools, like Teams and that, but you get into habits, don't you? So if you're going to see one or two architects, you continue to do that, whether you, in the future, even after all this, you say, well, I can schedule 10 architects in a day now because I'm Zooming them all in or having 20-minute FaceTime conversations with them. You get more done. So I think there's going to be a better combination going forward of not having to be just face-to-face with everyone. Whilst, humans want to be face-to-face a lot. But
yeah, of course.
I think in business, I think we're going to get a lot more efficient going forward, and understanding now that the technology actually is coping really well with what we're doing. Yesterday I had a meeting with our manufacturer, Mitsubishi, who do the Alpolic that we distribute.
Yep.
We had our account manager who's in Singapore. We had 3 people in Tokyo at the plant. We had another person at his home in Tokyo, and we got, usually those meetings, they're flying over here, we're talking, we spend a couple of days together. In 2-3 hours we covered a lot. We're all on the one screen with a couple of my management team.
Yeah.
In 3 hours, and everyone still got a lot done. It was quite effective. We had a presentation going, and I realised then we hadn't done that before this.
No airfares.
Why didn't we do it?
No flying across the world to do it.
But why hadn't we done it before?
Yeah.
This forced the habit change. That's all it's done.
What's the old adage? Necessity is the mother of invention.
Correct. Now, this all existed before.
Yeah.
We just didn't utilise it.
Tony Rouady, I appreciate your time. Thanks for joining me this morning.
Thanks, Tony.